राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हे जनवल्लभ गिरिवारधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवारधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जननी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद श्री राम संकीर्तन की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय और प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। So, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 18, verse number 34. Would you like to repeat or should I do alone? Huh. Okay. I'll say one time this verse. ब्राह्मणे क्षत्रबन्धुर्हि ग्रहपालो निरूपितः स कथं तद्गृहे वास्ता सभाण्ड भोक्तुम् अर्हति ब्राह्मणे क्षत्रबन्धुर्हि ग्रहपालो निरूपितः स कथं तद्गृहे द्वास्त सभाण्डं भोक्तुम् अर्हति ब्राह्मणे क्षत्रबन्धुर्हि ग्रहपालो निरूपितः स कथं तद्गृहे द्वास्त सभाण्डं भोक्तुमर्हति. Synonyms: Brahmane, by the Brahminical order, Kshatrabandhu, the sons of the Kshatriyas, he certainly, Grahapala, the watchdog, Nirupitaha, designated, Saha, he, Katham, on what grounds, Tatgrahe, in the home of him, the master, Dwasta, keeping at the door, Sabhandam, in the same pot, Bhoktum, to eat, Arhati, deserves. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The descendants of the kingly orders are definitely designated as watchdogs, and they must keep themselves at the door. On what grounds can dogs enter the house and claim to dine with the master on the same plate? Purport: the inexperienced Brahman boy certainly knew that the king asked for the water in hospitality in an impertinent manner, befitting an uncultured boy. He was not at all sorry for the king's nod. On the contrary, he just in a way characteristics of the Brahmana of Kali Yuga. And so it was wrong for the king to enter the same pot. The dog is certainly reared by its master, but that does not mean that the dog shall claim to dine and drink from the same pot. This mentality of false prestige is the cause of downfall for the perfect social order. And we can see that in the beginning it was started by the inexperienced son of a Brahmana. As the dog is never allowed to enter within the room and hearth, although it is reared by the master. Similarly, according to Shringi, the king had no right to enter the house of Shamika Rishi. According to the boy's opinion, the king was on the wrong side and not his father, and thus he justified his silent father. So we are saying, right, what is happening here, that he asked for water. Shamika Rishi was in a great samadhi meditation, and he didn't know that king had came, and somehow by the influence of Kali, a great devotee of a lord got put into a very awkward situation where he got impatient, angry, and then what he did, he took a dead snake and put around the neck of Shamika Rishi. So, and king left from there. Then, of this insult of Shamika Rishi, called Shringi, who was taking a bath at the river with some of his friends, and he got the news. So here we see Prabhupada says in the purport that Prabhupada saying that inexperienced Brahmana boy. So Shringi, he was a Brahmana. He had the power. We call Brahman Tejas. But because he was inexperienced, immature, he doesn't know how to use that power or where to use that power. So the effect of that, what happened? That he ended up cursing a great devotee of the Lord, Parikshit Maharaj, which he did not know. In fact, it is in the following purports or following story, we'll hear that when Shamika Rishi got to know that my son has cursed Parikshit Maharaj, Shamika Rishi lamented that, oh silly boy, what did you do? You did not know what have you done, who that king was. Because that's why Prabhupada used the word inexperience. So that is how we see that in bhakti also, or in spiritual life also, it very much matter that over the period of time, you will understand the importance of a devotees around you. It is like when we enter, when we stay for some time, and when we stay for a long time. So those are the three stages we can say. So when first we enter
Mataji, for some reason your voice is not audible.
spiritual life,
Hare
we are
Krishna.
pure devotee. When we come here,
Hare Krishna.
devotee, because Mataji,
Mataji, your
yes,
voice is not audible for
okay,
some reason. I don't know.
yes, can you hear Mataji?
It's breaking in the middle.
Mataji, at my end it is okay. I think. Do you want to disconnect and connect?
You cannot hear me
Okay,
at all?
Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhuji, then I'll try. And I think Mataji, it's my side. Hemangahari Prabhuji said saying it's good for him. So sorry.
Okay. Okay. No problem. So, what happened? So when initially we enter bhakti, we see everybody as a pure devotee, a great devotee. Then we pass some time. Then we start saying, "Oh, this person is like this. That devotee is like that." Uh, those are the initial days of our after spending some time, those are the days of our life where we start. We are getting experiences, but still we are inexperienced in bhakti. And that time we start judging devotees. That time we start finding faults. But when we spend more time in bhakti, listening, hearing to the classes, hearing to the philosophy, doing services, doing chanting, trying to serve as sincerely as we can, slowly, with that association of holy name, with that association of katha of the Lord, with that association of the devotees, Lord help us to purify our heart, and then we start seeing more faults in us and the less fault in people around us. So those are the stages we can see. So sometimes though we have power, but if we don't have the intelligence of how to use and where to use that power is a very destructive. Just like Prabhupada always gives the example of a knife, that it is not like knife is a good or bad. It depends on in whose hand knife is. If the knife is a hand of a thief, it can take somebody's life. But if the same knife is in the hand of a doctor or a surgeon, it can save somebody's life. So the same way we can see that, like when somebody has a power, if the power is in a good hand, an experienced hand, just if suppose if some mental terrorist get access to those things, it is so dangerous. But at the same time, if that power is handled by a person who knows what is its impact, what is its power, and what are its, like when somebody uses in a wrong way, what ill effect it can cause, then it's in a safe hand. So that's why Prabhupada is saying here that the inexperienced Brahmana boy, what he did, and that is the symptom of Prabhupada saying the next verse, next line, that the false prestige. So what happens when these two things come together, it causes havoc. You are in extra power, and at the same time you fucked up because of that power. You have the pride. Oh, I am this. That he who's his qualification? What is his greatness? And that's why he is comparing Parikshit Maharaj to a watchdog. And according to our, we can say the Varnashrama, we said there are 4 orders: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So definitely the Brahmanas are considered as a head of the society, where the duty of a Brahmana is to give knowledge, to study the Vedas and distribute that knowledge to the other orders. Then the duty of a Kshatriya is to protect, is to take guidance from the Brahmanas and protect the whole society, collect the taxes, maintain the society, give the protection. Then the duty of a Vaishya is do the cow protection, do farming, doing tradings, like that. And the duty of a Shudra is to help all the above orders in their services to the society. So here we see that because he considered himself like a because I'm a Brahmana and I have, like, more power, he considered the king unknowingly or with because of his false prestige as somebody who is like uh, uh, we say like, know, um, of a low caliber or lower than him, like that. And that's why he could, without giving a second thought, he right, insulted a Kshatriya who is a devotee, and there are consequences of that. So the example comes to my mind is like an example of Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. So same, like Ambarish Maharaj was a great devotee, and Durvasa Muni was a Brahmana, and Durvasa Muni was a sage. So we hear in the story, like, so that how Ambarish Maharaj, uh, uh, because he did open the fast in that particular, so because he took the future breath, the fast is broken. At the same time, guest who was Durvasa Muni, and because of that, Durvasa Muni got angry, and then Durvasa Muni cursed, or he created a demon to kill Ambarish Maharaj. But the on the opposite side, what happened? Instead of Ambarish Maharaj getting hurt, Durvasa Muni got the punishment, and Durvasa Muni understood the greatness of a devotee. So same way here we can see that um, uh, how the false prestige, Prabhupada is saying that, what Prabhupada says, a line here, that this mentality of false prestige is the cause of downfall of the perfect social order. And in the beginning, it was started by the inexperienced son of a Brahmana. So there are many things, it is said that, when Lord does something, in one act of Lord, there are so many purposes behind that. Like one Lord, so here we see on the surface that, oh, Parikshit Maharaj insulted the sage, and because of that he got cursed. But here we can see the sequence, like how the things are arranged. When Lord has passed from this world, that time Lord wanted, like, it was a time for Kali Yuga to progress. And now if Parikshit Maharaj is on the earthly planet, just like we see in the past, also in the before story also, that um, when Kali came to Parikshit Maharaj, and he requested that give me some place to stay. I am your one of the citizens. And when Parikshit Maharaj gave him the place, he couldn't find a single place where he could stay. Now, Lord has to make some arrangement where the Kali Yuga is able to progress, so that whatever the living entities, just like it is said that in Kali Yuga, there are 99% of living entities are Shudra, and there are leaders who are in the pose of, uh, leaders of the society. They are actually demons in the form, in the human form. So now, if Lord wants to annihilate all these people, that means it has to progress, and then only Lord can come and annihilate those things, right? So that why Lord arranged a way where, and it won't happen unless the topmost social order of the society called Brahmanas, they fall down. If Brahmanas fall down, then only the other things will gradually follow. And that start uh, because of some, we can say that, we don't know the history of Shringi, but because of some reasons, Lord made Shringi as the instrument for that, for cursing the Parikshit Maharaj and for the downfall of this social order of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And then Prabhupada says in the purport that here Shringi is justifying. So here one more point comes to my mind is like, um, um, when some devotee or any person comes to your house, how much hospitality is important. Just like in the fifth canto, it is said that in the last chapter there are the punishments. So one of the punishment or one of the sin is if you don't treat your guest properly, that is also one of the sin, and for that also there is a punishment. So here in Kali Yuga, what to speak of receiving a guest, but we are seeing that like uh, in the initial days, whenever even the king used to come to the sage house or sage used to go to king's house, they equally used to respect each other. That culture was there, but as Kali Yuga is progressing, we are losing all that culture. And here we can see that how that loss of that culture has started, like how Shringi, who is being a Brahmana, he gives the knowledge, so he should have the knowledge of hospitality, right? Like a great devotee of a Lord came. So instead of justifying what has happened was wrong, he is justifying that, oh, my father was right. Who was wrong? The king was wrong, who dared to enter the house of a Brahmana and dared to ask for water. So here we see that like Prabhupada is saying that, so all these things, the the downfall of social order, the downfall of the befitting manners for a cultured Brahmana, the downfall of the society, all is started by the one uncultured Brahmana boy. Because as soon as Parikshit Maharaj left, we see like, after that we don't hear any story of any culture or any incident where Kali Yuga is hesitant to progress. After, it was a free ground for Kali Yuga to progress, right? So and we said that is a Lord's arrangement. At the same time, we see that how a Lord made somebody as an instrument. The next verse I'll read in this. I'll just one time read this. Krishne gate bhagavati shastra utpatha gaminam tat bhinna setu adyaham shasmi pashat me balam. Synonyms: Krishne, Lord Krishna; Gate, having departed from this world; Bhagavati, the personality of Godhead; Shastari, the supreme ruler; Utpatagaminam, of those who are upstarts; Tadbhinnam, being separated; Setum, the protector; Adya, today; Aham, myself; Shasmi, shall punish; Pashyata, just see; Me, my; Balam, prowess. Translation and purport. Uh, After the departure of Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead and the supreme ruler of everyone, these upstarts has flourished, our protector being gone. Therefore, I myself shall take up this matter and punish them. Just witness my power. So these are the words of Shringi, we can see. Purport. The inexperienced Brahmana, puffed up by a little Brahman Tejas, became influenced by the spell of Kali Yuga. Maharaj Parikshit gave license to Kali to live in 4 places as mentioned herein before. But by his very expert government, the personality of Kali could hardly find the places allotted to him. The personality of Kali Yuga therefore was seeking the opportunity to establish authority. And by the grace of the Lord, he found a hole in the puffed up, inexperienced son of a Brahmana. The little Brahmana wanted to show his prowess in destruction, and he had the audacity to punish such a great king as Maharaj Parikshit. He wanted to take the place of Lord Krishna after his departure. These are the principal signs of upstart who want to take the place of Sri Krishna under the influence of the age of Kali. An upstart with a little power wants to become an incarnation of the Lord. There are many false incarnations after the departure of Lord Krishna from the face of the globe, and they are misleading the innocent people by accepting the spiritual obedience of the general mass of people to maintain false prestige. In other words, the personality of Kali got the opportunity to reign through this son of Brahmana Shringi. So we can see that, what a big havoc is created because of Shringi's false prestige. Because of his false pride, what havoc got created? Kali got the opportunity to establish his authority. So here how we can understand in our spiritual life this thing, I feel like, I heard a prayer one time, Shantoji was sharing that. Yugal Kishore Prabhuji prays to Lord, one of his prayer that, my Lord, don't make me an instrument to break ISKCON. Because what happens when you start practicing and when you start getting that power, like in ISKCON also we can say, when everybody has some power. When you start practicing sincerely, knowingly, unknowingly, you get the power to lead the other people who are coming here. And you may be in the management, or you may be head of any department, or you may be head of any service. Through that power, if you get puffed up and if you start thinking, oh, everybody has to listen to me, my way or highway. If somebody doesn't listen, then I'm going to, not going to cooperate. Then you are going to become the instrument of the destructions. So you are going to provide that hold to Kali Yuga, to give that authority to have the destruction here. And everywhere, just like we hear, like my Guru Maharaj says that Maya is so thorough that suppose there is a concrete or there is a stone and there is some line in that, water will pass through that also. So that much thorough Maya is. So we have to be very careful when we are practicing our spiritual life, that situations will come because we are conditioned souls where just like, here Prabhupada is saying that inexperienced Brahmana boy. So we are equally inexperienced like him. Though we are practicing devotional life, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Guru, you have got a very great power of spreading this mission. But at the same time, you got the responsibility of making sure that you don't become the reason for breaking it apart. Because with great power comes great responsibility. And if you don't have the experience, or if you don't have the knowledge that what that power can cause havoc if you don't use it in a proper way, you are unknowingly or knowingly are becoming an instrument in the hand of Kali to do that. So like I was thinking for myself, like, when Krishna puts you in that position, it is very difficult many times, because you are a conditioned soul, you have feelings. Since many births, you are always trained up like my way or highway. I want things to go my way. You want to lord over the material nature. You want to lord, you want to have control. All those propensities are there in you. And in that case, when things doesn't go your way, then if you take such steps where it is going to harm, if you take such steps where it is going to cause a destruction, then um, like I would say that is a biggest loss of your life, because you got the opportunity to practice spirituality, you got the power, you got the privileges, but because you couldn't be grateful for that, you didn't understand what you got, you somehow misused those and you lost those things. So here, that so what can be the solution? I feel like most of the time, for not to uh, uh, become the instrument to cause any kind of destruction in your own spiritual life or in other spiritual life is, I feel like, being grateful. Like many times we forget. So that's the difference. When we initially come, we are very grateful in the initial days. If somebody does something, somebody gives some little guidance, somebody gives some little prasad, we feel so much grateful. Ki, oh, Prabhuji, you are so great. Prabhuji, thank you for giving prasad. But as time passes, we don't see who is giving us what. We see, oh, they didn't give me this. They do like this to me. Oh, they didn't say prasad for me. Like, like those things start coming. So when slowly over the period of time, when we start losing that grateful heart, automatically we start seeing as ourselves as a great personality, that pride, that prestige start taking place of that gratefulness. And then the danger of, like becoming an instrument of Kali Yuga increases more and more. So each and every time I feel like, so that's why it is said that the association of devotees is very important, because devotee keeps you grounded. Many times, in the association of devotee, it happens that um, many times things doesn't go your way. And if you learn to accept that, okay, that's all right, I need to cooperate. So that time you are learning, or Krishna is training you through that association, how to tame your own pride. Because if everybody starts praising you, if everybody starts saying, oh, whatever you say, the way I'll do, then what will happen? It is like fanning your pride, fanning your ego, right? And then suppose 100 times it happen and in one time it doesn't happen, it will be impossible. It will be too much difficult for you to handle that thing. So Krishna makes you train in the association of devotee that, oh, okay, things may or may not go your way, but you should be ready to take up that way. And that is how you can progress, right? We can see that, in our life also, that the people who cooperate, you see them progressing more. And the people who cannot cooperate, slowly, you see them, they are falling apart. So that's why Prabhupada says, like, one time the Srila Prabhupada disciple asked Prabhupada, how can we please you? What can we do for you? Prabhupada said just one thing, like, I accept what I'm giving you and share with others and cooperate with each other. Because that is the most difficult thing, because everybody has pride in this world. Everybody is conditioned. Even the small child has a pride. What to speak of a grown-up? If you go to some small child and you say, oh, don't do like this, it's very difficult. Like you can see the child, if you will hear some response. Oh, I was not doing like that because of him. Like, like that, because somewhere or other that propensities we are carrying from many births. So it's not difficult. Sorry, I'm saying it's very difficult, definitely, to curb that pride. It's not in our power. But at the same time, if you have a sincere desire that, my Lord, I want to progress, I want to please my Guru Maharaj, I want to please you, and give me that strength, that time Krishna will make arrangements where uh, he will help you to overcome your conditionings. And through that only we can progress in our bhakti. So here in the purport, like Prabhupada is saying like that, how um, Kali Yuga, because of Shringi's false prestige, Kali Yuga could make him as an instrument and establish the authority. So same way, we don't want to become the instrument in Krishna's, in Kali Yuga's hand, but we want to become instrument in our Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada's hand. For that purpose, what we have to do? We have to, it is very difficult, but that's why, I feel like, when you keep hearing about all these qualities, slowly you start noticing them. Just like in our Manashiksha class, we were listening about the Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that the demons Krishna killed, um, Trenavarta, Kaliya, and what all demons Krishna killed? Shakatasura. So all those demons, there are 7 demons Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions. Those 7 demons represent different anarthas which are related to pride. Like how, because pride is not like, okay, one, pride comes in a many ways. That is the first chapter of Manashiksha. In that first chapter, we hear about how the first instruction given by Raghunath Das Goswami is about give up the pride. Most difficult. Start is there. But in that, the easiest solution given by our acharyas is like, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that if you keep hearing these pastimes of Krishna killing this demon, in the initial, those are the Putana, Trenavarta, Shakatasura, Bakasura, Aghasura, Keshi. So when you keep listening to the killings of this pastime, each demon represents a quality, a anartha. And when you keep praying slowly, Krishna will help you to overcome those anarthas. So I feel like, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj, we got the most easiest solution. Most easiest. You don't have to go to forest. You don't have to give up eating. You don't have to give up sleeping. Eat prasad. Take as much rest is needed for you. Just you have to do two things. Shravanam and Kirtanam. If you do Shravanam, if you do hearing, and if you speak those pastime, if you do chanting, that thing only help you. Because just like in the Srimad Bhagavatam it says, right? What are the qualities of Kali Yuga people? Manda buddhi, manda bhagya. Like manda buddhi. We don't have that intelligence. Our intelligence is very less. Memory is less. So in that case, it won't be possible for us. Oh, I heard one pastime. I heard all the instruction. I remember everything. I can follow everything. Not possible, unfortunately. We have to keep listening again and again and again and again and again and again. And then when you listen to those things again and again and again and again, then you start understanding each and every word, and that will help you to purify your heart. Many Srila Prabhupada disciple, I heard about Giriraj Maharaj. Giriraj Maharaj, now also every day he reads Bhagavad Gita, every day. He is in the movement of spirituality. He is a Maharaj. He is sannyasi for more than 5 decades, and still he reads Bhagavad Gita. Here we feel, oh, I completed Bhagavad Gita, done. Now I'm ready to go to higher books. But that's how it is shown through the example of our Guru Parampara, that these books are not ordinary books. These are Krishna's words. So when you read one line 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time, 50 time, 100 time, each time the realization will be different. And we can say that same example is said by Mahaprabhu also. We hear the pastime, right? When Mahaprabhu used to go to Gadadhar Pandit in Tota Gopinath, and they used to discuss the pastimes from the Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear that Mahaprabhu asked Gadadhar Pandit to read. They read the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj 100 times, more than 100 times, again and again and again and again. So from that example, we can see that how much nectar or how much, what power is there in those words. Those words are not, oh, like a story or novel, you are reading one time a story and then get done. These instructions are for you to follow. And unless and until those instructions, those lessons get imbibed in your heart, it is not possible for you to follow those. So for that purpose, hearing to Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing to the classes of Bhagavad Gita, it's so much important that through that only you will get inspiration of doing service, doing sadhana, everything. Unless and until you know the importance, you can't do anything seriously. Somebody goes to gym or somebody practices diet because they know the importance of gym or doing diet. Somebody takes medicine because doctor tells him the importance. Oh, you are suffering from this. You have to take this to get cured. The same way, unless we do hearing that, unless we understand that what conditionings we are carrying, what anarthas we are carrying, how can we take up this seriously? When we understand that, oh, I am in a darkness, I'm in a hell of darkness, I have so many anarthas, and to get rid of these, I need to practice this sincerely. For that, you have to understand that first, that where you stand. And you can understand that only and only when you keep listening and when you keep understanding that, how to understand yourself, like, okay, where you are standing. It is very difficult to find faults in others, but it is very difficult to find fault in ourselves. So when we learn that art of finding fault in ourselves, then that is the day, or that is the stage where you can start working on how I can overcome those faults. Unless that stage comes, just like, many devotees says that, I could see that, how mode of passion is acting on me, or I could see how mode of ignorance is acting on me. That stage come when you start observing yourself. So those things won't come automatically. And that's why, that's why these Prabhupada purports are there, where Prabhupada is telling through his words that, how you can avoid, we can learn from these examples of Shringi, that, uh, how because of a small, uh, uh, a small pride, or whatever Brahman tejas he had, and because he doesn't have that knowledge, how Kali Yuga made him instrument. So same way, if whatever Krishna is giving us, or obviously, like, when we go outside, people respect us because they see us that, oh, you are following these rules, regulations, you are chanting. Automatically, they have some respect for you. Through that respect, you get some power. But if you don't understand how to use that power, you never know when you will become an instrument to destroy their spiritual life and your spiritual life. For that purpose, we have to keep listening to these things to make sure that we are using that power, or we are not misusing those power. So that's all I have for today. If anybody has any comments, any questions, any corrections, it's open for everyone. And thank you so much for joining today. Thank you so much. Please forgive me if I have spoken anything wrong, as your humble servant. We are ending the Zoom.